Good afternoon. My name is Ryan Bhola, and the reason why I'm here today is because will be presenting a paper slide about a great piece of literature known as the Tragedy of Macbeth by William Shakespeare. To begin, Macbeth was a man known to be a loyal individual by many. He was also named the Great Thane of Gladness. The plot first takes place when Macbeth meets three witches who had influenced him by simply telling him his future. This resulted in Macbeth committing several different acts throughout this play, which will make him Thane of Cawdor and also the King of Scotland. The first act that Macbeth had committed to become closer to ultimate power was to kill King Duncan so that he could replace him. After the death of King Duncan, to fulfill the witch's prophecies, King Duncan's sons fled in fright of also being assassinated. Macbeth then turns his attention to Banquo. Macbeth assassinates his good friend Banquo by initially sending two murderers to kill him, and they were successful. Furthermore, the third act, which can be considered one of the most intense moments during the play, is where Macbeth sets out to kill Macduff. In the search of Macduff, Macbeth finds his family while Macduff is in England. This resulted in Macbeth killing Macduff's family, which triggers a war to take revenge on Macbeth after Macduff finds out that he was responsible. Macduff kills Macbeth. There are a great number of reasons why people would consider the tragedy of Macbeth to be a great piece of literature. Now I will explain to you three of the many. The critical commentary. The first reason why this play is considered a great example of literature is because since the play is very famous by many, many others have read it and analyzed it. Some very important aspects that are evident in this play. For example, writer Kevin Curran says criminality was a career-long preoccupation for Shakespeare, and his approach varied from play to play, from poem to poem, and even within individual plays to poems. This quote demonstrates that the play had been influenced by what has happened in Shakespeare's life. To be specific, this play was written after the gunpowder plot that Shakespeare's father was involved with in order to kill King James, which similarly takes place in the play where Macbeth kills King Duncan. The second reason why Macbeth was believed to be an excellent piece of literature is because the play had portrayed the universal truth: every action committed will result in consequences based on what one has made, perfectly. Throughout the play, Macbeth displays numerous acts where he has greed for power, which forces him to make decisions that he usually won't make, such as killing his best friend. Macbeth proves his universal truth through guilt when he is the only one that sees Banquo's ghost on top of the dining table after the assassination. Lastly, one major reason that makes this play a really good example of literature, is that to this day, Macbeth is still being used in classrooms across the world as a learning tool. This allows students to analyze and make connections from text to real world through different types of writing, such as poetry, drama, and more, which portrays that the tragedy of Macbeth is an excellent example of literature. To conclude, Macbeth is proven to be a great piece of literature through its critical commentary by Kevin Curran. The universal truth: every action committed will always result in consequences based on the decision one has made, and still to this day is being used as a learning tool in schools. Now my question for you is, how would you react if your significant other was constantly questioning your man/womanhood? Thank you. Have a nice day.